These are my friends, Glenn Kaler and Joe Ungershik, Covenant brothers, decades and decades of friendship. But Glenn and I met in 1980 when we had some program assignments for camps with Young Life, and we did those together. Along the way in the Young Life journey, we met Joe. Glenn already knew Joe. I met Joe in 1985, and that's when we really became a threesome. So Glenn had this idea of a different kind of a small group. And we had all been in groups before where we studied stuff together and read stuff together. And this wasn't going to be that. I think in Glenn's heart and in our hearts, none of us wanted to do the parenting journey alone. And we knew that coming together, there were 6 couples in the beginning, if I'm remembering correctly. And the idea was it wasn't going to be like a ordinary small group. So Glenn called it the Ungroup. And we only did 2 things together. We ate dinner together, and then we prayed for our kids. And attendance wasn't mandatory, and we didn't have to prepare. We just had to show up, enjoy each other, and pray for our kids. What else would you?
Everybody came.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the sense was we had little kids and you're busy, and there's a reluctance to commit to something that you know you maybe can't fulfill because every week's different. And so the idea of an ungroup was like you can't quit, you can't join it. We're going to try to do this on a regular rhythm, and whoever can come will come. And that was why we thought, let's not put this pressure on. And it kind of became a joke that it got too organized. It was becoming a group, and we're more of an ungroup. So it was just natural. Everybody had to eat together. Everybody had to eat, and so there wasn't an expectation that you couldn't miss. And I think that was part of that freedom that allowed it. But also, I go back to the friendship piece. These are just people that we just said who's fun to be with, and who has kids and wants to have the value of maybe praying for them. And again, feeling very needy around that area too. So we just said, my wife and I said, we're gonna twice a month do dinner and pray for our kids, and who will do that with us? And that became the invitation. And God just, again, put his favor on it in ways that I couldn't have even dreamed about.
What I thought was cool was that there were only 2 roles in the ungroup. There was a starter and a closer.
Yeah.
Somebody had to get us focused, and then somebody had to bring it to a close.
Right. And it was just beautiful, organic, just talking about life and parenting and our kids. And it's a beautiful journey. So here we are 28 years later, 26 years later, or whatever. Now our kids have grown, our kids have kids. We aren't able to get together on a regular basis. But when we do, it's rich.
I say, looking back, a couple things were necessary that we didn't decide this is what we need to do, but just the quantity of time, the spending time together, the amount of time. But there's also natural friendships, people that you like to be with. And so I would now call it kind of following the favor of God. But it's much more natural than maybe that sounds. It's just like, who do you have fun with? Who do you laugh with? Who's it easy to be with? Do that more often. And that was kind of how I think we began to just do that. It wasn't like we should decide to go form a group and pick 3 people or something like that. It was like, well, you're with somebody and you say, why don't we do that more often? So we just found ways to do it more often. If we recreationally, we just ate a lot of meals together. We did trips together. It was people who were just fun already in our lives that we got intentional about. So I think there's kind of this intentionality, but also the favor of God on the friendship that began to be this, creating this time together of deep friendships. And
we've prayed for kids who were struggling or sick. We've prayed away bad boyfriends and bad girlfriends. We've prayed protection over this, that, and the other thing. And we've just lived the ups and downs of the parenting journey. But the Me Too factor, just to be around others who are experiencing the very same thing you are, the very same struggles, the very same, I'm not sure what to do in this moment, just gives you a sense of, I'm not the only one dealing with this, and we come around each other on that. I learned most of what I know about friendship from these two guys. We came together at a time in our life where I didn't really know how to go deep with people. And I needed that in my life with peers, guys that could understand my journey and guys that loved me. And these guys both have like PhDs in friendship. And so it was just kind of being around them and being friends with them that allowed me the opportunity to go deep. I want that. And it's been so incredibly critical and important for mine.